Well, good morning. Hello, CQ, the old friends net. This is N4LQ in Shelby, North Carolina. Name is Steve. Everybody that can run AM mode is welcome to join us. We operate in the round table fashion here on 3715 every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 a.m. and on Sundays at 4 p.m. This is N4LQ listening for check-ins.
Good morning, Steve, WA4LLR.
K4GDN. KZ4B.
WB4ARK.
KN4R.
K3OS. W4WU.
WB4NKL.
All right, that was nice and smooth. Here's what I got. WA4LLR, K4GDN, George, let's see here, KZ4B, WB4ARK, KN4R, K3OS, W4WU, and WB4NKL. Do we have any more check-ins? Seems that we're missing somebody this morning. Anyway, down the list real quick. LLR, GDN, 4BARK, 4R, OS, W, NKL. One more time, this is N4LQ listening for more check-ins.
W4NDC.
Thought you'd be out there somewhere. All right, Cliff gives it to Charlie, W4MEC. Anybody else? It's 24 degrees here in Shelby, and I think it's supposed to be up to 41. I got the loop antenna back up in the air, just about where I want it. I'm going to reshoot that tree, but I spent a couple hours tramping around in the ice yesterday. I'm a dedicated antenna man. When one needs done, I do it. Fortunately, it wasn't too awfully bad out there, but still a little slick in places. Finally got our street plowed yesterday after I complained to the county. We ended up with 2 snow plows that worked for a couple hours out here, salting and scraping and banging and brushing and everything else going on. This stuff is hard as a rock, and they used a lot of salt or whatever it is they used to spray it. Then they'd come back after they'd done the pass and scrape. So I can finally get out of the subdivision, and I'm on the Ranger 1, driving the amp to about 300 watts or so. WA4LLR, good morning, Dave, N4LQ.
All right, Steve, fine business. N4LQ. And the group WA4LLR, good morning to everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Good signals so far. 15 degrees, clear skies, and the wind has subsided some. It's been very windy yesterday and last night. Wow. Steve, sounds like you guys really had a dose of it if they're just now getting you dug out. Man. Of course, who knows? It sounds like tomorrow night, Saturday, we're going to get another round. And I think Saturday night they're calling for a low of 3 degrees for us here. But at least we're not like Dan, CDJ up in Indiana. His temperature this morning was 0. He said Saturday they're calling for 20 below, actual, not wind chill. So I hope it stays up there. Mercy, I'm ready for a bit of reprieve, but it doesn't look like it's coming anytime soon. Running BC610 and the HQ 110A this morning. So George, here it comes. K4GDN, WA4LLR.
WA4LLR the group, K4GDN. And I hope the modulation's alright this morning. I'm still on the LDO Mac KF67, receiving on the PMR7. And looking out on the scope, looks like I'm at least 60 or 70%. It was about 27 this morning when I got up at 7. It's about 30 here in the shack, and they're calling for snow down here on the beach, which is kind of unusual. But we had some last year. We had almost a foot last year. It's global warming. Anyway, everybody seems to be coming in here pretty well. The band seems to be in good shape. There's a little bit of QSB. But other than that, things seem to be going quite well. So with that, John is coming to you. KZ4B in the group, K4GDN.
Okay, K4GDN in the group, KZ4 Bravo, fine business. George, you're coming in quite nicely. Conditions do seem to be pretty good today. Nothing wrong with that. And I have a wind generator on my pier ahead. And it was held, there were like 3 guy ropes to hold it up vertical because it's the end of a long 1.5 or 2-inch pipe. Well, it came down during the or just after the snow, and it's out at the end of my pier, so I couldn't get out there because of the ice. I don't want to slip on the pier. It doesn't have guardrails, it just has lights along the edge so you don't step off into nothingness in cold water. Anyway, my wind generator came down. And I'm sure people that go by in boats, although there's not much of that happening, look at it and say, oh, this guy's a tree hugger. But the idea is only for emergency communications under the most catastrophic conditions at low power. It's rated 400 watts, but that's in a hurricane. And with a good 20 or 30 mile an hour wind, it might do 150 watts. But anyway, it's down. And so that's the only casualty. We missed the bullet with the pipes freezing or anything like that. I did manage to excavate the gas logs, and it's been warm and toasty. So, over to Buddy. Hope you're doing well. WB4ARK and the group KZ4B, over.
KZ4B, WB4ARK. Okay, John. Well, you didn't mention if the wind generator fell into the lake, or did it just fall on the pier? I guess it's must be an AC generator. Otherwise, you'd be charging batteries with it or something like that, and then have an inverter. But wasn't too much detail there. The weather here is clear. Woke up with a nice clear sky and 22 degrees at 7 o'clock. So we're looking for possible snow this weekend, but we've got some work to do before that gets here. And I think we've got a pretty good chore ahead of us, but we won't go into that at this moment, but we will pass it on to KN4R. This is WB4ARK.
Hey buddy, very good. Good morning to all. WB4ARK in the group, KN4R, Brian, over here in Sherrills Ford where it's clear and 23 degrees. And the good news is the power has been staying on. I can't remember my fireplace being on for a longer stretch than it has in the last week or two, but glad we have it. And Steve, you're lucky that you complained you got your street plowed. We have a 4.5 mile road coming down to where we're at, and it's not scraped yet, and it's passable, but it's got some really bad spots. I mean, it's still probably 85. But we'll see if somebody else complained down here. I'm on the Globe Champ here, and listening on a it's SP600, old model. So everybody's sounding good. And let's see, John, I was also wondering if it fell in the lake, because I was going to come over here and try to get it, because I'd like to have one too. So anyway, over to you, Gary. K3OS in the group, KN4R.
All right, Brian, KN4R, K3OS. Morning, everybody. Same weather here, clear. Spent some time yesterday trying to get rid of some ice in the driveway. I would guess the bottom 25% just never gets some sun. The rest of it is kind of high and dry and really nice, but the bottom 25% isn't, and it's 2.5 inches of solid ice. I got a cold chisel and a 3-pound sledge. I couldn't get through it. I said, heck with it. Went out, got some sand, and said, I'll wait till Mother Nature takes its course. Meanwhile, I can't get my wife's car in the garage. But that's all right. We park it up at the top near the street. So same thing with the sidewalk too. And some of it's okay, but I just ended up throwing some sand on it too. It's just not melting. And it may be a while, as it turns out. Running the typical Gonset G66 receiver and G77A transmitter. I see that Mir has got himself a 77. Look forward to hearing that on the air. I've been, as you well know, extremely happy with mine. Neat looking and fine performing little radio. I think it performs a little bit better than on the receiver side than the LMAC, the PMR7. I don't have an 8, but I had I get at least a little bit of rejection from some of the other frequencies. All right, let's see. Over to Richard, W4WU, K3OS. Go ahead.
Okay, Gary. Thank you. This is W4WU in the group. Well, good morning to everybody. 30 degrees here in Galpins this morning. I'm like a lot of you. I went out yesterday and I have a flat hoe and worked on some of the ice. And, I got the ice off my deck. We've got TimberTech on the deck, and it just flaked right off of it in big chunks. I'm surprised at that. But the driveways, like you say, our driveways down, we go over a little hill. We park on our house. We got a 2-car garage in the house, and the only way I get out was my truck is 4-wheel drive, and put it in 4-wheel drive, and I was able to get out with it. But it's a solid sheet of ice, and it's always forever getting thawed out because it's right where the sun never reaches it to thaw it out. I did get a little bit flaked out enough to get up to the get over to my trash can. But anyway, I've been working on a couple of projects here, and I'll elaborate on them more later, but on the next round. But I built an air gun to shoot my lines over the tree for my antennas. And I built a tilt plate for my beam where it attaches to the tower. So anyway, I'll tell you more about that in the next round. Over to you, Cliff. WB4NKL, W4WU.
Yeah, W4WU, it's WB4NKL. In the basement on the 32V3 again. I've used this station more this winter than I have in several years, I guess. But just too cold to heat the main radio shack. We didn't have to deal with the ice like you guys did. It's we lucked out right in my area. It's sort of all around us, but nothing here. Well, what snow and stuff we did have, it sort of freeze dried and left. But like Dave said, it's going to be a cold weekend down into the single digits there at night. So not looking forward to that. Maybe a warm up one of these days. Gary, I agree with you on that Gonset receiver. I've played around with one of those and compared them to the L-Max and some of the other mobile receivers, and I believe the Gonset come out on top, especially on receiving sideband signals. It seems like it's more stable than the other receivers. Not too much else, Charlie. I did not think he was going to make it, but here you are. W4MEC, WB4NKL.
Yeah, WB4NKL and group W4MEC. Well, it's not frozen in my house here, so I can make it okay. Good morning, fellas. It's about 20 degrees here, clear skies. And let's see, it's not supposed to get out of the, well, that's the nighttime lows, but it's supposed to stay in the single digits, or well, it's gone to single digits on Sunday, but in the teens, low 20s until about Wednesday is going to be the lows here. So, and I don't think it's supposed to get above freezing until about Monday. So anyway, it doesn't matter, it's the weather. So let's see, yeah, I have to say my yard, my drive is like your road, Steve. I was actually out there yesterday with my sledgehammer trying to break it up, and I was trying to make a spot. I need a propane gas delivery, and I'm down to yesterday I was down to 18%. I already called them a couple days ago. They didn't come out here yet, so they're pretty good about that. And they're supposed to get here today, but I chopped the spot. He always parks the truck in the exact same spot, so I chopped the spot where he could get out of the truck and walk in the back of the truck too, and get set up and pull the hose out, so we wouldn't fall down. But it's amazingly slow. I mean, it's just a sheet of ice, a solid ice. So, and we can get out with our car in two-wheel drive. Yesterday I went out to the store and was able to back out and get out of the drive, and coming back in as I went around the planter that's in the center of the circle there, I kind of skidded around that, and but it made it in there, and just fine. The roads are fine here, most of them, and the sun has been drying them out. Of course, it also, that pile of snow on this, or ice or whatever on the side of the road, it melts and then runs across the road and refreezes in the night. So it makes black ice everywhere. So as long as it's not longer than the car, I guess you're okay. You can get that front half over there and then the other half and pick up the traction again. Yeah. But it's quite the mess. And one parking lot I was looking at, the restaurant had put all these chairs out there because it was a solid block of ice behind the restaurant, so they didn't want you to even try and go that way. So, but anyway, it's not melting, and it's, even when it gets up, I think it was 36 yesterday, it was a high, and that ain't enough. So, and walking in the yard, to put my bird feeders up, I hacked me a path through that so I wouldn't fall down and slip, and so I can get my bird feeders up fairly safely. And got home last night and went back out to retrieve the bird feeders at night, and from the time I got home, and about 30 minutes later, I went to get the front bird feeders. A giant branch had fallen in our driveway, and I don't remember what landed. I mean, this thing was about 4 inches in diameter. And this morning when I woke up, it dawned on me, I wonder if that antenna, that branch took my antenna because it fell right next to it, but I must have just missed it, so we're on the air. M4LQ in the group, W4MEC.
W4MEC, N4LQ. Do we have any more check-ins? Well, I guess you all, if you get your email, you saw the new Mars transmitter that arrived yesterday. Fits in the palm of your hand. It was intended to be mobile, sort of like the Babcock, only even smaller. And it uses a 12AU7 oscillator. Oscillator driver, I guess you'd call it. And then that feeds into a 6AU5 final amplifier for a grand total of 4 watts. And it is doing it beautifully. 4 watts of pure carrier power. The modulator is another 6AQ5 and uses hissing modulation through a choke to the plate of the final. There's no audio preamp. It just the mic just goes through a little transformer and straight to the 6AQ5. That's it. 3 tubes. I've sort of traced the wiring a little bit, but I didn't want to hook a carbon mic to it, so I'll whip together some kind of preamp, maybe use the same scheme on the as I did on the Babcock Cliff recommended, but I'm not going to modify it. I'm going to do everything I can to keep from doing that, so whatever I do will be external. And 4 watts, it's not much power. I don't know, I may get 100 watts out of the AL82, maybe. If I do, I'll be really happy. Let's see, we will not be able to do the luncheon next week. Gary and Brian and John, sorry about that, but I've got to take the XYL to the doctor. She's getting her cataracts done. Surgery on Wednesday, and she has to go back the next day for a follow-up appointment. So, unfortunately, but I will be able to be on the net, at least. Snow this weekend, Friday night, starting late is 1.4 inches, and Saturday 3.8 for a total of 5.2 inches. That's the prediction. So that sounds like another mess, and Saturday night 13 degrees, Sunday night 7 degrees. So this is turning out to be quite a winter. Over to Dave for another round. WA4L LR on the BC610 N4LQ.
Okay, Steve. N4LQ, WA4LR. I'm curious. You said the Mars was putting out 4 watts. Did you get a power supply with it, or have you already built one up? Or I'm curious. Sounds like you've had it fired up. And that's interesting, hissing modulation. I'm looking forward to hearing that one on the air. And the luncheon is in question for us as well, because that week my wife has jury duty. So I don't know if how that goes is going to kind of determine whether or not we make it to the luncheon. I hope we get to. George, AF67 sounds good up here. John, sorry about your wind generator. and glad the gas logs are working. And buddy, it does sound like a snowy weekend coming up. Brian the Globe Champ sounds great as usual, and yes, it is the season for gas logs. Gary, those Gonzits always do a great job for you. I think they put out 40 watts, somewhere in that ballpark, but they got big audio, kind of like the LMAX and the Gonzits both sound louder than they are. So doing a great job. And I'm curious, everybody was talking about the Gonzit receiver being more selective than the LMAC. I wonder if anybody's tried a Pearson. I wonder how it compares. It's a very similar looking receiver to those Gonzits. And Richard, good deal on building the air gun. I need to get mine out, and I need to do some antenna work if this weather ever breaks. Cliff does look like a cold weekend for us coming up. Charlie, glad that when the limb fell, it missed the antenna. Oh man. Anyway, let's see here. What else is going on? Well, space weather's fairly calm. Sunspot count's 135, solar flux index is 133, and the K is 3.57 according to the last information that I had. And a few items from this day in history. On this day in 1936, the U.S. Baseball Hall of Fame elected its first members, Babe Ruth, Ty Cobb, so on and so forth. On this day in 1954, Oprah Winfrey was born. On this day in 1929, the Seeing Eye, the first U.S. school to train guide dogs, opened in Tennessee. On this day in 1845, The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe was published. 1861, Kansas entered the Union. On this day in 1962, Peter, Paul, and Mary signed their first recording contract. And on this day in 1964, Dr. Strangelove premiered, Stanley Kubrick's movie that was also called How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. So that's a few items from this day in history. So George, back down to you. K4GDN, WA4LLR.
WA4LLR, and the old friend, K4GDN. Interesting. I do remember Peter, Paul, and Mary coming out. I was Paul and Mary and the Kingston Trio. I might be got a mic connection problem here. Anyway, everybody seems to be coming in pretty well here. There does appear to be some QS things. It's pretty fast, but it's not all that bad. I'm copying everybody, at least 80 or 90%. And they're calling for about an inch of snow here. Anywhere from 1 to 2, depending on where you are on the coast. I don't think it's going to get down much past Georgetown, though. Of course, send on up towards North Carolina, it's a good bit more when you're north of Route 95. But I guess we'll survive. And it's dried out, and I think it's going to get up into the low 40s today. But the weekend is going to be cool, and if it gets anything on the ground, any kind of precipitation, it's probably going to end up being ice by Sunday morning. So I'm kind of wondering whether or not we'll even get to church at all with all that weather. I'm not too worried about my driving. I'm worried about all the other crazy ones down here, because the drivers down here are really bad. I have never seen such a bunch of crazy people. And it's not just kids, it's mainly old people, because that's mainly what's down here, is a bunch of old people. And I guess I'll include myself in there. I'll be turning 80 in 2 months. Anyway, like I said, copy everybody fairly well down here this morning. And I guess probably next Tuesday, next week, I think I'm going to try to get the Hellcrafters on the air. If anyone sees an HC-45 radio floating around anywhere, I'd kind of be interested in getting all one of them just to make the station, the whole thing here for the Hellcrafters. So with that, we'll pass it on to you, John. KZ4B in the old fridge, K4GDN.
Okay, K4 GDN and the group KZ4B here. Very good, George. Good copy. My son who lives down there said that, at least when I talked to him, that they got no snow at all. So I assume that applies to you as well. They live in North Myrtle Beach. Shifting gears, buddy, to answer your questions, first of all, it did not, the wind generator did not fall in the lake. I've got several jet ski floats for docking jet skis. There were no jet skis in the docks, and the wind generator fell over and hit that. And I'm afraid it maybe busted the at least one of the blades on the wind generator and the propeller. And but it did not, I don't think, go in the lake. I haven't looked at it today. I can't get out there because there's still ice on the pier, and I'm not sure how in the heck I'm going to get it back up. It was everything I could do several years ago with the help of my brother to put it up. So it may be in this derelict form for quite a while. Technically, it is a brushless AC generator. It's got magnets, and so there are no brushes. And so the AC goes to a rectifier that feeds either an inverter or batteries or a dummy load, so that if for some reason the wind generator puts out too much voltage, it will automatically transfer to a dummy load to help slow it down. And although the blades on the propeller are supposed to go turbulent at high wind speeds, so that's supposed to automatically prevent it from overspeeding. And the inverter is automatically synchronizes with the power grid, so it will backfeed to the power grid, but it's really a joke. Like I say, with 20 or 30 miles an hour of wind, it might do 150 watts, so it doesn't even compensate for the LED pier lights. So it costs me more to light the pier than the generator backfeeds into the grid. So that's the deal there. And but it's going to be a long time before it's operational again, if ever, depending on how bad a shape it is from the damage of falling. And I was hoping to have the HT40 on today, but in this cold weather I've been excavating the ham room downstairs and trying to get it straightened out. So I have not gotten it on the air yet. It's finished, but not on the air. So maybe before I'm dead, we'll have that going. And it's too cold to work on the broadcast transmitter. It cost me a fortune to heat the garage. So that's the deal from here. Steve, I'm sorry to hear that you'll be doing the cataract surgery with your wife. I hope that goes well. And so I guess Brian and I, we're probably too lazy to go all the way to Spartanburg. But Brian, you can comment on that. So, over to you, buddy. WB4ARK and the group KZ4B, over.
KZ4B, WB4ARK. Alright. John. Well, sounds like your generator took a big hit there with the blade getting bent. I wonder if you could buy another one. I wonder if those things are still in production. Anyhow, let's see. We had a mini generator at one point on my tower, but it was used for wind speed, and I built it. I actually built it out of a DC motor, and had a unit to convert it to wind speed. Anyhow, yeah, the storm is pretty much abated here. We got a little bit of ice right at the garage entrance where the sun doesn't get to it very well. It's blocked until the sun comes around to the western part of the sky, and doesn't get much sun at all. So it's going to be a while before that gets taken care of, and I might have to get out and do a little bit of shoveling, but it's melting some, so there's probably about 2 feet maybe of snow and ice. And let's see what else we got. We got a couple of little projects going on, but nothing big right now. Got an oscillator that I'm working on for the transmitter, and so that's about it for right now. And so we'll send it on to Brian, and I'd like to hear about your ideas about getting that generator from John. KN4R, WB4ARK.
Okay, buddy. WB4ARK in the group. KN4R. Yep. Well, I actually have a small windmill generator out in the shed somewhere. It's got, rubber or plastic blades and all that. So, but I need to dig it out, and it'd be fun to have one out there. Though I'm afraid I might decapitate a few of the gray herons and that kind of thing around here. So I don't know. But anyway, let's see. Where do I start? Dave, Steve. First of all, best of luck on Linda's cataract surgery. It's really not that bad, but it's certainly worth it. And okay on the luncheon being questionable. We'll just have to see if the luncheon happens, and if not, if so, maybe we can figure out something between us. So, and Steve, very good on the Mars and the Babcock. And I was sitting here thinking that'd be a great article, kind of a shootout between Pearsons versus Gonset versus Babcocks versus even Little Johnson Mobile, and et cetera, et cetera. That would be a really nice article for somebody to write. And let's see. And Dave, good luck with Irvina's jury duty. Hopefully she won't have to actually sit on the case, but I guess she will have to show up, which is problematic. So. And let's see. Oh, and Steve, on the Mars, if no one else is able to find the November 2007, and I think there was another, Dave mentioned a 2018 article, let me know. I've got stacks of VR here, but I just have to go through them and find the right episode. The right issue. But I'll be glad to try to do that if I can. So anyway, let's keep it going. K3OS in the group. KN4R.
Hey, Brian. KN4R, K3OS. Yep, all good all around. It looks like we're going to be stuck in this cold weather for a while. It's going to hamper some stuff that I had planned on doing. next week, I'm hoping things will clear up, but maybe not. We shall see here. As far as the lunch, I was next week. That was yeah, I've got an activity on Thursday, weather permitting, so I may not be able to make the lunch either for another reason. But hope the cataract surgery goes well. Generally, it's a fairly successful thing. I've had it done. My wife's had it done. Everybody's had it done. And so fast, as we all know, it's just unbelievable, right? Okay. I won't want to ramble too much anymore. Yeah, it'd be fun to compare those receivers. But I like this one. That's kind of why I kept it and got rid of some of the other stuff. But this one's pretty nice for whatever reason. It's not as broad as a barn door. The AM reception is excellent, and maybe it's because I threw a new speaker in there. I don't know. The old one was kind of decrepit, so I threw a new, whatever size it was, 3.5 inch or something like that, speaker in there. Made all the difference in the world. I'm quite pleased with it. In fact, I think I'm running the, trying to think, I don't think I replaced too many caps. I'm running the original caps and the power supply and the transmitter, all that stuff. So it was pretty well built in its time. Richard, over to you. Good to hear you. W4WU K3OS.
Okay, thank you, Gary. K3OS, W4W in the group. Well, very good. Everybody sounded good this morning. George, you're coming in good this morning, too. Sometimes I don't hear you too well, but the first time was better than the second time anyway. Well, let's see. Yeah, I built a gun to shoot, fishing line over the tree and pull up a larger line and pull up the antenna wires. And that thing really works. It sounds like a cannon going off sometimes. I run about 30 pounds pressure on the container on it, and just made all out of PVC, and it really does the job. It's one of the things you build and use once, twice, and then you got it. The tilt plate, I have a 30-foot tower that'll tilt over at the base, and my antenna is a Sommer beam that I got just recently. I had to leave some Sommer up before that, and this new one has a 20-foot boom. So when you tilt it over, I took it down just because of the ice. I didn't want the ice to break the elements up on it. And so when you tilt it over, you still got where the antenna attaches to the mast out of the rotor 10 feet off the ground. So I said, and I had seen one before. Phil, ISX has one. And so I built this contraption to go in there, a 3/4 inch aluminum plate. It should hold up. And so when you tilt it, the antenna stays parallel to the ground. So when you tilt it over, the antenna's flat on the ground instead of sticking up in the air. And I got it bolted on there yesterday, and partially. I'm not finished with it yet, but I'm in the middle of that project. So it seems like it's going to work well. We'll see. I don't think it's going to break the tilt plate anyway. 3/4 inch aluminum. So it added a little bit of weight on the end of the tower. I'm running a K4 station today. K4 running into a KC8am amplifier, the new modern aircraft station. Anyway, I've got to get out of here, go get my hair cut in a few minutes. So good to hear everybody this morning. Say 7-3, see you, and look forward to talking to you later. Stay warm. It's going to be cold this weekend, just like everybody else. So over to you, Cliff. 7-3 is everybody. WB4NKL, W4WU.
Okay, Richard, W4WU, WB4NKL. Good copy all the way around. Dave, I've got one of those little Pearson receivers and the power supply, but I never have used it that much. I'll have to hook it up. Well, I've never had it all three hooked up at the same time. I've got the Pearson and the Gonson. I was trying to think if I got any different mobile receiver. I think that's it, but I'll have to try to get them all hooked up and compare them sometime. Steve, interesting on the Mars. I've got on electric radios too, but
I'd have to know which issue it's in to look. I used to have an index on one of the websites. I don't know if it's still there or not. I'll try to see if I can find anything, information on it that'd be interesting in hearing. I guess I'll make this my last one too, and get out of the basement here, see what's going on in the world. And not too much, can't do much in this cold weather, so I might try to get some more firewood up here to the house. I'm going to try to keep a fire here over the weekend. 73s. Thanks for calling me, Steve. Over to you, Charlie. W4MEC, WB4NKL.
Okay, Cliff, really good. WB4NKL, the old friends W4MC. Good round, everybody's good solid signals here, including George. Let's see, when I wrote some notes down here, I called in for well, I mentioned that, patrol him to, a propane gas delivery. I just called them back, left a message, make sure they're coming to this side of town today and didn't forget me. So I got a notice here that my only way I can get my W-2 for this year is go online and download it. And, I wondered about that because of our travel trailer. My wife is trying to set up leaving our travel trailer down there at the campground at Myrtle Beach that we use all the time. And we had it there one season, and then some hurricane came along, and we went and got it and took it back home. But she wasn't thinking about leaving it down there. And they're going through the contract renewal process with hundreds of people that have their trailers stored down there. And the only way you can do it is by the internet. And all these people are calling up and saying, I don't know how to do that, because they're elderly. So they've been having to do paper work and all the shipping paperwork contracts and all that. So I'm going, a lot of these folks out there that maybe don't even have a computer. How are you going to get your W-2? Are you going to tell your kids? Well, you don't have any kids. What if you outlived your kids, So, and you've been doing your own taxes for years, and you can't access your W-2, and that's kind of weird that that's your only option. And I was just reading about the IRS. You may not get your tax refund in a timely manner because they are not sending checks this year. You have got to have a bank to make an EFT into it. And how many folks out there do that, So, elderly folks, 80s and 90s or something, if they're still not in a nursing home, it's still going just great, but they're cutting out a lot of folks and their ability to get information, so. And that tilt plate there, Richard, I remember those. I remember them selling them many, many years ago, and you can put them on any Yagi. And the idea was that it had two pivot points, one on each side of the plate there, each end of the plate, two metal plates side by side bolted to the mast. You clamp to the mast, and with your boom between them, and you take out one bolt, and you could pull your Yagi down alongside the tower and work on it. Where your elements are attached, and then raise it back up, put that bolt in, take the other bolt out, and then you could pull the Yagi down on that side and work on the other side. So I could use that right now for mine, but I'm not going to do it. But I remember that as an option that you could, somebody made and sold on, advertised in QST a long, long time ago. I think back in the era when QST was as big as the old National Geographic. So, let's see, I still can't read this. I know what I was. My son had posted just about all the 007 movies on his Plex site, and right now Netflix is running all too. Well, I don't particularly care for a couple of them, like Daniel, I don't know what's his name, guy that did The Living Daylights and all that. Roger Moore's okay, but I was watching On His Majesty's Secret Service with George Lazenby, who was basically the first serious 007, and he didn't get picked up because he had a habit of using pot, so he liked to smoke pot. So they made one movie with him, and he was kind of in and out a lot of times, so they decided to get Sean Connery after that.
But when you look at those old movies made in the 60s, especially in Europe, and I wonder some of the places they go, some of the towns are in, I wonder what they look like today. Some of the roads they go down on mountainsides, you know, is it like California and they're covered with houses now? Or are they just as out there as they were when they made those movies years ago? So that would be a good project for a rich person, you know, to go around and revisit all the locales that they made 007 movies on and take pictures of how they look today compared to they were when they made them, you know, especially places in France and Greece and other spots that are just basically devoid of thousands and thousands of tourists, you know. But it'd be an interesting study. Maybe make a tabletop book out of it for $70. So I'll hang around to the end with N4LQ and the group W4. Let me see.
Okay. 4MEC, N4LQ. I suppose that would be interesting. Let's see, do we have any ultra-late stations? I don't hear anything. This is N4LQ. Let me see. First of all, somebody asked about the power supply that I'm using. It's the same one that I used on the Babcock, which I put together a few days ago. And same voltage, really. All it needs is about 250 plate voltage and filament. And the power supply has a relay, so it's got a relay. It's set up just like the Babcock. You got your relay output. It's got a push-to-talk mic jack. The mic jack's kind of weird on it. I think it's the same typical 4-pin CB type mic jack, but it's got a little fancy chrome encapsulation around it. The only thing that isn't working is the plate current reading, and I get grid current but no plate current reading. I don't know if it's a bad switch. I tried cleaning the switch, grid plate switch. Didn't help any, and the resistance measurements all come out good, so I'm not sure what its problem is. That's the only thing I've seen that doesn't work. Okay, on the ER electric radio, Dave said that is in November of 07, November 2007, and so Brian, if you would look for that, it's issue number 222, November of 07. And I think Cliff said he's got a bunch of them too. So if you could take a picture of that article, that'd be good enough for me. I just want to see what it says, but I cannot find a schematic anywhere. It's just like it never existed. Pearson, I looked on Bama, and Pearson has the big receivers, but their little one is not there. The KE93 Pearson Holt mobile receiver, and that's a cool looking receiver. It does look a lot like a Gonset, but it looks like a Turret type band switch on it, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I did read about tax refunds coming electronically now, and I'm not sure how that's going to work, because a lot of people don't have, they wouldn't know a computer from Adam, so I don't know what the solution there is. It may be, they should probably slowly phase that in, I guess. Anyway, that's the wave of the future. Guess that's about it from here. This will be our 73 round, so just do a short 73s, and everybody have a great weekend. Try to stay warm. Have your snow shovel ready by the front door so you can dig your way out. WA4LLR, N4LQ.
All right, fine business, N4LQ, WA4LLR. All right, Steve. interesting on the Mars unit. Looking forward to hearing it. Appreciate you calling in, Annette. Everybody have a great weekend. Stay safe and warm, and we'll see what develops. So 7-3, God bless. K4GDN, WA4LLR.
WA4LLR, the old friend, K4GDN. Yeah, I started working on my taxes yesterday, and I thought about the electronic refunds. I do paper. I submit a paper copy, but it looks like they changed the way you determine your gross taxable income. Well, income went down quite a bit, and the refund has come up significantly. I just wonder if anybody's gotten that far yet. I've been hearing that there's going to be big refunds, but it looks like what they did was the way they calculate the adjusted gross income changed considerably, and it tended to drive the adjusted gross income down, which means your taxes go down. Mine went down quite a bit if I'm doing it right. I got to go back and check it. Now, I had requested paper copies from the IRS on their instructions and the forms. They still haven't got here. The office is local, didn't have any forms. I just downloaded some stuff off the internet, and I copied out the pages I need on the instructions, and that's what I've done so far. South Carolina, though, had their stuff published 2 weeks ago with the local office. Anyway, that's what's going on here. Looking forward to the weekend, I guess. We'll see what happens with that. So, John, thanks for calling the net, Steve. Hope everybody stays safe. KC8am, the old friends, K4GDN.
Okay, K4GDN and the group KZ4B, fine business, George. Still getting a real good copy on you. Well, you know, one nice thing is no tax on Social Security, but I wish they'd do something about the minimum distribution. That's a headache too, and that is a big headache. And so, anyway, thanks for calling the net, Steve. Enjoyed it. Nice session this morning. Everybody stay warm, and we will try to see y'all on Sunday. If the lights are still on, well, we got the generator, so we can get on either way. But, in fact, I've left it out under the carport outside the garage, anticipating the worst and hoping for the best. So, take it away there, buddy. WB4ARK in the group, KZ4B, clear but listening.
WB4ARK, are you there, buddy? There goes Brian.
Okay, very good. KZ4B in the group, KN4R. Okay, very good on all. And John, you know, I was thinking back, seems like as long as I've had a generator, power hasn't gone off. But there was a time when I did not have a generator, and we did have that terrible issue of no power. So anyway, fingers crossed, and I have my generator in the garage standing by. So anyway, I've enjoyed it. Steve, I will look for November 2007, and I think Dave mentioned another article or an ad or something in 2018. I'll go back and look at that email and see what if I can find that one too. So no promises, but I'll let you know here shortly. So anyway, enjoyed it. Everybody have a wonderful inside day today, and talk to you later. K3OS in the group, KN4R 73.
Okay, Brian, thank you very much. And yeah, everybody be safe. So we don't get the let's hope they're crying wolf again. We never know. You never know. Over to you, Richard, and everybody have a good day. Theoretically, I have a rehearsal on Sunday afternoon, but who knows? Last week was canceled. We'll never know about. We'll see what happens on Sunday. W4WU, K3OS.
Yeah,
think it goes to me. I think Richard and Cliff checked out. Let me double check. Okay, very good. WK3OS and the group W4MEC. Well, thanks for running the net there, Steve. Hope to see you on Sunday afternoon running on commercial power and not my generator. And when Brian made his comment there, I remembered back when I bought my first 220-volt generator. I've had a 110-volt diesel one for for a long time, like close to 50 years, and but it's only 110 volts. When I bought my first 220 generator, I remember reading in the directions, and it said how to hook it up, and it said, do not hook it up to your house, and do not rely on the main breaker to isolate the system, your house from the system. And, you know, I told you all about putting in a transfer switch. And I noticed on this generator I just bought here a couple of years ago, it doesn't mention that at all anymore. It says, you know, when you hook it to your house, be sure to turn the main breaker off. So I think now linemen and electrical workers know that someone may be backfeeding the system and take extra precautions before they touch anything, even with their gloves on. So anyway, thanks again, and Steve, and we'll see you all Sunday. Maybe make it 1864. N4LQ and 73RW4MEC.
Hey, yeah, everybody, please try to make it to 1864 tonight on 160 at 8 o'clock. 73s, have a great one. This is N4LQ closing the Old Friends Net.